The anticipation for this movie was like Christmas morning, eagerly awaiting to open presents as a kid, only to be shattered by the reveal of a lump of coal that's hidden beneath wrapping paper. A Christmas nightmare. Alien Romulus came out in cinemas in 2024. It was directed by Fede Alvarez, starring Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, and Archie Renault. The plot of the movie is about a group of colony workers that travel to a low-orbit space station to scour for supplies to make a deep space voyage, but what they encounter is a terrifying species. The exterior shots of space are exquisite, especially up on the big screen. What is really strange about this movie is we're here to see the aliens and all the carnage and the scary stuff, but space looks amazing. The aesthetic look of the film is really cool. Computer screens, levers, buttons, apertures, hallways capture the retro, futuristic style of the original Alien. There's also this really cool orange strobe lighting underneath gantries and vents, which is awesome. The aliens were really visually sharp, with tremendous amount of attention to detail, and they really popped on the screen. A missed opportunity for me in the movie was I don't think they used tighter corridors as much, similar to the original Alien movie. Romulus uses certain hallways that are a bit too spacious, spread out. It's a chance for us to breathe as the audience. We can get our bearings and all of that, but I think it's more effective when you've got tighter, darker spaces where the alien can blend in to the environment. It heightens the fear of it being on top of you, waiting in the shadow, and I think that's where the movie sort of fell apart for myself. I just couldn't connect to these kids as characters. To me, the women or the female characters looked like they're about 10 years old. David Johnson played Andy the android, and he was the best part of the movie, and that's about all I'll say on characters. For me personally, I felt that there was, in this one moment, a lack of romantic intimacy. A cathartic final kiss before impending doom would have really solidified things. That physical urge to feel human, knowing it could be the last thing that we ever do, really felt suppressed to me, and like it felt like it was out of place, and I wanted it to be in there, but they chose not to put it, and it just didn't work by doing that. Dialogue was another bad element of this film. The overt use of dialogue that was ripped from previous films, not in a tasteful manner, but rather like being bludgeoned over their head with it to suit this movie. I couldn't write a script to save my life. Fede was a writer on this film. I just can't understand why. Why did a ton of dialogue from the series get greenlit to be used here? It's basically declaring creative insolvency. Here's a solid kick in the nuts. Andy, David Johnson's character, redoes Ripley's famous power loader line. But in Romulus's case, there's no payoff. It was not earned and is a shameful reenactment of one of the best moments in cinema history. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourself, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You tried, Romulus, to follow in the footsteps of giants, crafting your own story, moulding great discourse and thrilling audiences, but instead, you chose to cut corners and copy and pasted material to appease an audience with lower attention spans and infuriating fans of the series like me. In general, I felt like there was a lack of terror in Romulus. The first teaser trailer had me sold. I was really hoping to see some truly awful and shocking moments because we're all here for that. I know what the game is. The execution is what I hope pays off. Paralysing dread, creepy suspense, claustrophobia, and the body horror. I wonder if Fede was held back by Ridley Scott or the studio in general. Romulus was really tame. I wanted to see something a little bit more extreme, truly awful nightmare that trapped our characters. The deeper themes of what makes Alien so iconic is primal fear of sexual violence, and even the biomechanics of facehuggers and the xenomorphs was completely vacant. I know it's unpleasant to talk about, but that's why the Alien franchise is so iconic. It really taps into the fear of anatomical violation, suffocation, and reproductive corruption. You don't want to be anywhere near these things. You'll either become an incubator or suffer a really violent death. The alien is a life form that is the antithesis of human life. It's an inconceivable destructive force that exists outside our known universe and scientific basis. The black goo is back and seems to be the key to everything. It dumbs down the cosmic horror that makes the xenomorph so fascinating, reducing art to consumable pulp. Think back to the original. You've got the derelict spacecraft, the space jockey, thousands of eggs. Alien is meant to be foreign, amorphous, and completely unknown. Another bad part of the film was AI and digging up the past. The decision to include a legacy actor from the series, a theatre actor of such depth and experience that truly enriched the horror of the original 1979 film. Quite literally dug up from the grave and reanimated using AI deepfakes. Fede approached the Holmes estate in order to ask for permission, out of respect for the dead, to use his likeness as another android in the Alien franchise. It's cannibalizing a franchise that means so much to me. It's an indictment on poor use of AI to resurrect legacy characters used by Hollywood to dangle that carrot. Remember this character? We don't want to create new characters because our return on investment might be lower. And we are risk averse. We want to maximize ticket sales by tapping into that nostalgia because it's the easiest way to make bank. It's noticeable the drop in quality of production because they consciously chose to go through with it. The AI deepfake was a very poor decision. I can only speculate that behind the scenes there was politics. Hell, maybe even Fede himself thought it was a terrible idea. Maybe a threat of pulling the plug if the line wasn't towed. Maybe the studio had the final say over creative freedom. As a suggestion, instead of using Ian Holmes' android Rook, they should have used the working Joes from Alien Isolation, the game. That would have been perfect. They are freaky and literally hunt you to the ends of the earth. In conclusion, Romulus is a mixed bag. I really don't know where I stand with it. My recommendation is go play the Alien Isolation game. That is awesome, and that'll get your heart rate up. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.